Hey there, my fellow YouTubers. This is Cassandra coming to you from my office. And you are with Lifestyle Journey with Cassie B. So this is going to be a real quick, hopefully, well, it's going to be a quick video because I don't have much longer that I'm trying to be here in this office. And I'm smiling because that's a story I'm probably going to try to get in here. But it is after 3 o'clock. I generally try to be out of here by 3:30. 3:45 at the latest. Let's just get into the little bit I have, which I don't have a whole lot written down. So, like I said, it's going to be pretty much a little bit all over the place, but I do have to go ahead and get this done because I plan to update you guys today. All right, so it is February the 25th, 2025, and I'm coming to you with my week 40 update. So, just diving into Shotzi here, that meant that the last time I came to you was actually on February the 20th, which was actually on Thursday from home. And on that day, I was 293.4. So I ended up losing 2 pounds for the week, which I've already talked about in that video. So for today, I am at 293.2, which means I'm only down 0.2 pounds. And this is in this 10, this I'm still on 10 milligram currently, and I take it in upper left stomach. Now at one point, so on Sunday, I did get down to 292.6, but then was back up to 293.4. I weighed that on Thursday, Saturday, and Monday. I did not apparently weigh on Sunday. So down 0.2 so far. Could I look at it as being discouraging? In a sense, yes. Really, in a sense, no, because I know the things which I have done. And they are, even though I am now exercising faithfully, I have not always, the nutrition piece is not really there the way that it should be, in that your girl has to put the sodas down. So that's put sodas down. So yeah, week 40 update was where I lost the 2 pounds. So that actually had already been done. So what I'm doing now is mid week 41, and I'm at 293.2. And hopefully, I know that my trend normally is to go up in the last couple of days, but I'm gonna work hard to make sure that that does not happen for a couple of reasons. I just don't want to be inching back closer towards 300 now that I am into the real. And secondly, I have a follow-up doctor's appointment, which is just basically to check on the blood pressure and everything, because I was put on blood pressure medication and cholesterol medication back in January when I went. And now I'm gonna go in on Monday, March the 3rd, which I will, if I follow what I've said, I will have another update on Thursday the 27th and give you, my final weight for week 41 there. But then I won't see you guys again until the Tuesday after my appointment. But yeah, the reason I definitely want to be down is twofold, because I don't want to get up to, I want to inch back towards 300, and I want to ensure that I was at 301 when I was last at the doctor, and I want him to see that I have made some further progress, even though he didn't really address the weight, because one of the things, it was basically just a, meet your doctor kind of situation. He actually didn't even address the weight. But yeah, I want to make sure that, and I was at 301.4 on my scale at home, basically no clothes, but then at the doctor's office with clothes and shoes, because they weighed me in a chair, they weighed me at 301. So things were pretty spot on. I'm wanting to make sure that, number one, my scale is still accurate, but that I am closer to the 290 range, because that would be amazing to have lost, at least the 10 pounds in that little over a month. So yeah. And then the only other thing that I have written down is the amount of time that I have basically stayed on each dose. And that is because I have been on Messenger with my cousin pretty much all morning. She lives in Germany, and we have each struggled with weight for some time. She has actually had a gastric bypass several years ago. I think, but when I say several years ago, probably close to 2 decades ago, I think. I would have to confirm with her, but I want to think that she had it before she had, and I believe her daughter is 13 or 14 now. So, but in any event, when I first told her about this, number one, she was concerned about the cost for them, since I don't think insurance covers this in Germany, or just maybe her insurance wouldn't cover it, whatever the case may be there. And then just concerned about, any health ramifications or things like that. Plus, I think she may have talked about weight loss medications to a doctor in the past, even though it might not have been this specific medication. She had talked to her about it in the past because she was telling me that she went in with her spiel ready to be like, I know you don't like, whatever, but blah, blah, blah. But as she went in to talk to her doctor, she was like, oh, yeah, no, I don't have a problem prescribing it. And so she has now been prescribed Mounjaro, and she's starting on 2.5, and she will be starting on Sunday. So the things that she came to me to ask me about today was how much I have lost, what dosage I was currently on, and when did I start. So I am down 68.4 pounds as of today, and it's been the 9 months almost exactly, because I started on May the 17th. First week would have actually been May the 24th, and it's now February the 25th. So yeah, we're right in there. But like I said, week 41 is where we are now, currently into week 41, and I'm down 68.4, which worked out to about 1.66 pounds per week. Not the fastest loss, but not the slowest loss either. And I'm right on target with. Still on the upper end. I'm on the upper end of average, because everything I've always heard, it says an acceptable weight loss generally is 0.5 pounds to 2 pounds a week. And I'm clearly above the 0.5 and veering closer towards the 2 pounds a week. So I'm happy about that. But like I said, they did prompt me to go back and look at how long I've been on each one of the doses, and if that's anything anyone is interested in. So I did 2 boxes of the 2.5, which I was 2 months at 2.5, but we do remember that I actually only had 7 doses because I messed up the very first dose that I was trying to take. Then I was on the 5 milligram for 2 months. But I've actually taken 12 shots of the 5 milligram, because I doubled up a couple times, and those were both 5 milligram shots. I remember the case behind one, but I don't remember the case behind the other. One might have been just to get me on track as far as the shots went, to realign my shots, to account for the missing 2.5 that I missed. And the other may have been, I know that I was during a week that I was on the 7.5. I think I doubled back and did a 5 midway because the weight loss really wasn't there. So it was just to get a little bit more of the medicine into my system. But I would really have to look back at the shots and see why I did what. I know that was the case for one, but I don't know what the case was for the other. I have done 3 boxes of the 7.5. So I did 3 months of 7.5. And I have so far done 3 boxes or 3 months at the 10 milligram. And the shot that I took on the 20th, which I did in my upper stomach, as we talked about that, on the left, that was the start of a brand new box. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do. If I'm going to complete that box. I have 3 more pens in there. And so, because what happened was, let me tell you what I did. I have a box of 12.5 sitting at home now. It was delivered about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. I went ahead and put in my prescription, but I put it in a little bit too soon. So where I was saying I was going to have 3 boxes of 10 sitting, I'm now actually going to only have 2, because I was supposed to be able to put in the prescription for the last 10, because Amazon, while they will accept the 3-month prescription, they will not they won't do it all at once. They won't send it all at once. So even though the doctor sends the 3-month prescription in, I then have to go in and physically say, it's 84 days, but give me a 28-day supply. And then it gives me the insurance price. Other than that, it will not give me the insurance price. And so I had 1 more 10 milligram left, and I was waiting until, I think they initially told me they weren't going to do that until the 25th or 24th. And then but just moving too fast, I went into the Weight Watchers Secrets program, asked for a refill, and said I wanted to go to the 12.5. And I expected to have some conversation about it, because I said I had a prep, because they asked you to have a preference if you want to stay the same, if you want to move down, you want to move up. And I said I wanted to move up. But being that I was moving up, one would think that there may be some conversation as to they just going to send the 1 month over. And so I then went in the chat and said I requested to move up to 12.5. I want it sent to Amazon, and I wanted to do a 3-month supply. And And so didn't hear anything for a day or so. And I actually then didn't even hear from, or at least I didn't see anything from Weight Watchers first. I actually saw an email from Amazon first saying that they had received the prescription and they needed it was under review. I don't know why they say under review every single time, but they do. And so then the next thing it said it was I could order. I'm like, okay. So when I went over and I knew that I would be able to order it right away. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, order this one now and then wait another week and do the other 10. Is that what I want to do? Because I didn't think I wanted to do them both at the same time. But that wasn't even an option for me when I went over to the Amazon site because they told me that the other prescription was no longer available. And so apparently what they do is when you change dosage and you have a prescription for the same medication and they cancel the other one. So they canceled my last box of 10. And so, yeah. I was thinking I was going to have that 12. Well, I'm still going to have the 12.5, maybe, sitting pretty in my refrigerator as I finish out the box of the 10. And I guess I might not need to have so many of each dose sitting around, right? So because if I think I've said I have two 5 milligram shots in the refrigerator right now, a box of 7.5, two full boxes of 10, and then I'm working on a third box that currently still has 3 pens in it. And now I have the 12.5. And so my plan either way was still I'm going to go through this month on the 10 and then start the 12.5, which will put me, if I do that, I'm going to be starting the 12.5 on March the 20th. That was the plan, which gives me almost 2 months on 12.5 as I get ready to go into my anniversary date of May 17th, May 24th, whichever way you want to look at that. But now I'm sitting here thinking I got those two 5 milligram shots, which could in essence equal a 10, and then the 3 10 pens. And I could just say that that's another box of 10 and start on my 12.5 on Thursday, which actually, and I've said that I wouldn't do this in the past, but when I hear people talk about, well, I'm not going to take my shot because I'm going on vacation or I'm going to, I don't know, a wedding or, I got an event. And it was my thought process was, this is a lifestyle change, and why am I going to be changing my medication for an event when I want to learn how to plan my life around, these events and still not overeat? But I'm going back on that in this one instance, and only because I am going to a Korean hot pot place. It is called K-Pot. I know there are several locations throughout the United States. We actually have one in a neighboring city, but there was supposed to be one literally coming down the street from me. And I noticed it back in March of 2024. And every so often I would go and I would look and I'm like, is it here yet? Is it here yet? Like, I don't always go down that way. But when I do, I'll check and I'll see and like, nah, it's still not open. And when I think about it, I go and I look on the website, still coming soon. Like, what is the holdup? And I was just talking about that last week with my brother and my sister-in-law. Like, this place, it's been like a year we've been waiting on this spot to come, because we talked about it way back when. And so they were like, you know what? I don't know why we didn't just say we were going to hop over. Because I live in Durham, North Carolina. I was like, we don't know why we didn't just say we're going to hop over to Raleigh. And so that's what we're going to do. We're basically going as soon as it opens on Friday. And I'm taking a day off because they're talking about, shopping or whatever in the area. I'm just going to be window shopping because this is not pay week for me. And the lunch is already going to be enough in and of itself. But yeah, I normally take my shots on Thursday. And when I take them on Thursday, I take them really early on Thursday because of the fact of trying to maximize the medication in my system. So generally come Friday is when it's at the very highest level in my system. And then to go out to eat lunch on Friday, So I am going to forego taking my shot until after lunch. And I might even take it with me, to be quite honest with you. I might take the shot with me and take it basically as soon as we're finished eating. But that is an experience to me. It's an experience that I've never had before where you're actually sitting there and, you're cooking the food yourself. at the table because we're doing the Korean barbecue and the hot pot. We want it all. And so I don't want to pay $30 and go there and eat 2 bites of food. So it's not like you can take it with you, right? And even though we can be there for 2 hours, are we really going to sit there for 2 hours? When I might be able to be like, okay, I don't want anything right now, but if we wait 30 minutes or wait an hour, may I be able to get something else? Yeah, no. So yeah, I don't wanna have that experience. I truly want to enjoy it. So my plan is I'm actually not gonna end up having breakfast at all. And I'm gonna go and enjoy my lunch. And I'm gonna somehow keep myself from taking that shot at 12 a.m. on Friday. I mean on Thursday. And and wait until Friday afternoon to take that shot. And yeah, now I'm just toying around with, do I want to take do I want to start this 12.5 or do I want to continue on with the 10? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I really want to go ahead and get those 2 5s out my refrigerator. So it's like maybe I'll end up doubling up on shot. Maybe I'll end up doubling up on shots a couple of the weeks. I don't know. I don't know. They're good until like sometime in 2026. But I just want to go ahead and get those out of my refrigerator because of the fact that the box is looking really ratty in there. It's looking quite squished as I continue to pile boxes on top of it. So, but I want to go ahead and, like I say, work it into the system. So I might end up, I think that's the thing I'm going to do. I think I'm going to end up doubling up and then there's just say, because that's the issue that I have. Like, it's just that I do things. And so like, I'm weird in that once I establish a system, I kind of want the system to stay where it is. Like for instance, I tear the ends off of my boxes, and then you all haven't seen this, but then at the end of each month, I write down what I've lost for the month for that box. Well, so therefore, it's basically like I'm doing the 4 weeks, right? In the one box. Now, granted, there's times in there where that first box was only 3 shots, but I still did it for the month. And then there was a times where I doubled up a shot, but again, still I said that still was for the month. And so if I do decide to go to 12.5, well, I've thrown myself off. So I'm not going to do the 12.5 because I would have thrown myself off because I would have taken a 10 and then I'll have three 12.5s. And then that's the end of the month. And then I still got a 12.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to double up. I'm going to double up. And today is Tuesday. I'm going to take a 5 milligram shot today when I get home. And then I'm going to take the 10 on Friday evening. So I will still have more medication in my system, which should allow me not to overdo too much. And then I'll see how I'm going to finesse the other ones in there, which I might not do that until the last shot, maybe, because I don't want to overdo it. I just came up with that on the fly. So that is what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So I'll actually end up having 15 milligrams, in a sense, in my system this week. So, and it helps because of the fact that once again, your girl has only lost 0.2 pounds, and I need to kick this thing in the butt. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And then I'll still be on track with what I said I was gonna do. Finish out this last 10 milligram box, and then be on the 12.5 for basically 2 months. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I will have taken 8 shots. And then, yeah, by the time the 22nd rolls around, no, is that Friday? No, that's a Thursday. Yeah, by the time the 22nd rolls around, which will be that next shot date, I'll actually have taken 10 shots. So I'll be like 2.5 months before the actual anniversary date, which puts me at taking 3 boxes of 12.5 by my birthday, and maybe, just maybe, I will reach that 100-pound goal that I have for my birthday. So we're gonna see, because I gotta get things moving. I gotta get things moving. I was 2 pounds last week, but then the week before 0. Like, okay, and now right now we sitting at 0.2. That's not going to help us reach those goals that we set. But I have been faithfully exercising. Haven't been back to the gym yet, but I have been using the equipment that is at my house. Oh, that's crazy. Look, I guess because that was actually where I actually worked today. I was on the phone with my boss for an hour upstairs, trying to work out a situation with a, anyway, it was a whole ordeal. Trying to listen to my boss in my ear and the lady right in front of me. It was a whole ordeal. I've met my entire close all my rings so far today. And I'm almost at my step count that I want to get to. I've set a goal of 5,000 steps. I'm at 4583 so far today. So I will definitely get that. I've done 638 out of my 590 move calories. My exercise is already saying 30 out of 30 minutes. And my exercise is my stand hours are 12 hours out of the 8 hours that I've set. I think the green dots are the dates that I exercise. I think that's what that is. Because I'm just learning. I'm still learning. I've had this Apple Watch forever, and yeah, I didn't necessarily use it so much for the activity per se. It was more so as like in conjunction with to give me some health metrics, true, but more so just as an extension of the phone. And so I'm just learning new things about yeah, that's what it means. Because I did actually meet my goals back on the 12th. It says 28 out of 30 minutes, but I worked out from like shortly before 12 until sometime after 12, and it's only showing 28 out of 30 minutes here. But at the same time, it is giving me that little, there's a green dot, and that shows that you exercised for the day when it shows that you closed your rings. Yeah, because like the next day, I exercised, but it fell over. It was as it was the carryover, and it's not showing that I had a workout that particular day. But that's not what I'm supposed to be talking about. The point being that I have, since whenever I told y'all that I was striving to try to close my rings every day, which I didn't get there every day, but it's close. I have exercised on February the 1st, 3rd, the 5th, the 6th, the 8th, the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 14th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, and the 24th. And today is the 25th. And I do not know if I probably will try to ride my bike a little bit, but I've done all right. Now, yesterday my activity was that I did my bike. I only rode for 17 minutes yesterday. When I get on the bike and I'm just like leisurely riding, I try to do 25 minutes at least. But I did 17 minutes yesterday just because my daughter came in and she was bringing her boyfriend in, which I've met him, but my brother wanted to meet him, and I wanted to, be in there amongst that. Plus, she was bringing me something, because she had been at his house on my car, and then they were going back out on my car. But anyway, I wanted to kind of be a little mother host situation with him coming over to the house for a few minutes, and so she let me know that they were on this side of town, where they were already on the side of town. So I stopped my bike ride at the 17 minutes. But then I worked out on my squat machine, and I did 90 squats. Still no resistance because when I use it with the resistance, it almost killed me. But it is still a challenge. Even without putting any weight on, it's still a challenge. And I'm just trying to get up to, I'm not even sure how high. Maybe I want to get up to 100, maybe 150. I think I'll say 150. It's probably going to be the number of squats that I want to do when I get up there. And then because I'm increasing it kind of each time I get up there. And I did like sets of 15. I did 6 sets of 15 yesterday and got up to the 90. So that was great. Friday is the other day that I did the squats, and I did on that particular day I did 80. I did February the 16th, I think, was the first date that I ever did it. I did 75 that day, but that was the date that I did it with the resistance that took me out, right? Is that the day, or am I thinking right? February the 16th was a Sunday. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that makes sense. That was the first time that I did that, when it basically took me out of commission for a few days. Yeah, because it said I did 5 minutes, but on the workout it actually only did three. So that was the first day that I did it. And then I was sore Monday and Tuesday, and it wasn't until like Wednesday that I was not sore anymore. That's where we are with that. So I basically did like it is 75 the first time with the 30 pounds of resistance. Then I took the resistance off because it was doing too much. Then I did 80 the next time. and then 90 this past time. So I guess I go for 105. I could do around 100, but I think I'll go with 105 and then work myself up, way up to the 150. And that's where I'm gonna sit until I'm real comfortable, and then I'll start back to adding the resistance, and then I'll probably have to drop the number back down, maybe cut it in half, well, no, a third. I'm gonna have to drop it down to like 50 each time I like add resistance, but we'll just see how my body feels. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there because we're at 33 minutes. Hopefully I addressed everything that I wanted to address. It is now going on 4 o'clock. It's 3:45, and I really wanted to be out of here by then. So before then, so I'm gonna leave this right here where it is. Come back to you on Thursday and update you on the things then, because I'm really perturbed right now with this office situation as we're moving and some things that I found out about that. I mean, it could be worse. I work at home. I still work at home primarily, and I got to try to remember that. So that's still a good thing. But gosh, if we ever have to come back, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem for me. Hey guys, I'm not sure what happened to the rest of the sound on this clip, but I'm just going to go ahead and let it play on out to the end. And I will say that as I was editing, I did see some things that I wanted to address. So I'll just go ahead and do it here in post. And that is, I mentioned a few times about doubling up on my shots here or there. And I just want to reiterate that, please, I am not a doctor, a nutritionist, or anything of the sort. So please don't think you need to follow what I'm doing. Consult your doctor before you switch up anything. And yeah, that's just what I want to reiterate to you guys. Um, because I was doing some experimentation. I'm not by any means suggesting that you do anything of the sort. But that is it, you guys. Until the next time, peace and blessings.